Let's go. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, the #1 safe space for astrology, spirituality, and life advice. Today we are having a fun segment called Astro-Insight, where we dive into the personality traits of different sign combinations. In this video, we're going to talk about the astral profile of Sun in Virgo, Moon in Leo, or, according to astrologer Jefferson Anderson, the babe in the woods. Another name for this combination is simple soul, but you are anything but simple, my friend. You have a character of high morale and can be considered a very honest person, or rather, honesty is a value that you feel very strongly about. But why are you such a giving person? Where does the Virgo and Leo energy come into play? Well, let's break down the combination and gain some insight on the Virgin and the Lion. So Virgo is a mutable sign. It is the ruler of the 6th house, which is all about health, routine, and servicing others. This sign is also ruled by Mercury, which represents speech, intelligence, detachment. The Sun is all about one's actions and what they are consciously aware of, what drives them in life, and what sign they are striving to be. So when you have a masculine planet like the Sun placed in a feminine sign like Virgo, where Mercury is exalted no less, you're going to get someone who has amazing organization and communication skills. Either or maybe even both. They may be a very eloquent speaker, and they may be someone of very high intelligence. Now, I know Virgos tend to come off very cold and rude, but I assure you, they can be one of the most helpful people you can ever come across. They are very detail oriented, and this is why they can be very good at things like organization. They can remember minute details about someone. Like, you could tell them that you're allergic to peanuts, and 10 years could pass and they'll still remember that you are allergic to peanuts. They may pay attention to certain little details that others may not pay that much attention to. Great problem solvers. You could bring a problem to their attention and they may ponder over that problem for maybe a day or two, but rest assured, if they are able to, they will come back to you with a step-by-step plan for your solution. Sunny Virgos are usually very well prepared. Let's say you have a Sunny Virgo who's hosting a party. They are going to make sure they know how many guests are coming and prepare enough food for double that amount. They'll consider the decorations and all that other stuff. Now, this is just a general set. It depends on the placement of the planets on the chart, of course, like I said before. But generally, they're very good at keeping up with stuff like that. But if there ever comes a point in time where, let's say, they ordered, a certain amount of food and something goes wrong. Let's say they ordered catering and catering ended up not having enough food for everyone. Or the decorations that they ordered came in late and now it's only going to come in a week later, so now there's no decorations. Well, if any of that occurs, we'll get to that in just a minute. Because we have Sun in Virgo, Sunny Virgos are very sensitive to their surroundings and to other people. They are usually very reserved and very quiet. Notice how I don't say shy, because I know some Virgos who are very introverted and very timid, but I also know some Virgos who are not afraid to step out and mingle and talk to other people, no problem. So, but one thing I have noticed that is common amongst Virgos is that they aren't the type to seek the spotlight. They're not trying to garner attention. They're more like the type to linger in the background Or let's say if they're in the middle of a conversation, a group conversation, if it's not just one-on-one, if it's a group conversation, they're more the type to kind of sit back and listen, unless somebody asks them a question directly, or there's a topic that's brought up that they feel very strongly about and they feel the need to, or they feel compelled to voice their opinion on it. But otherwise, they're not going to seek attention like that. They're not going to seek the spotlight, if that makes sense. Perfectionism has got to be the biggest thing about Virgos in general. They can be very self-critical and hard on themselves. They are nitpicky and usually want things to go a certain way. If it doesn't, then it almost feels like their emotions are slowly consuming them, which is something they typically don't handle well because they aren't an emotional person to begin with. They usually don't face their emotions or their feelings head on. Sunny Virgos typically have a hard time expressing their feelings, and they'd rather not tackle that. They'd rather exert their energy towards something else, and it's very hard for them to do. Things like hugging sometimes is very hard for them. Now, I know some Virgos who, they love hugs, but I know a lot of Virgos where hugging tends to be sort of a foreign thing for them. Now, earlier I mentioned how Sunny Virgos can come off very cold and rude sometimes. That's not their intention. They do it because they want to help. They're trying to help you get the best outcome. So Leo is a fixed fire sign, which means it is set in its ways. And it is the ruler of the 5th house, which represents pleasure, creativity, and children. This sign is also ruled by the sun, which represents nobility, authority, and soul. So the moon is all about our inner self. It represents our subconscious mind and our instinctual actions. It's how we react and respond to certain situations and circumstances in our lives. And it can also represent our emotional needs as well. So when you have a feminine planet like the moon placed in a masculine fire sign like Leo, you're gonna get someone who feels like they are the main protagonist and star of their own show. They like attention. This doesn't mean that they consciously seek out attention in order to validate their worth as a person. It's more like recognition, more so than that. It's like they want to be recognized for the things that they do, and what they can bring to the table. They want to be recognized for those things. This does not mean that Leo moons don't have insecurities. They can have insecurities, but because of the vibe that they give off, they may come off as a pretty confident person, and in some cases they are confident to a fault. If there are insecurities there, you're not going to know it firsthand, especially if you don't know them on a deep enough level. You won't know it. Moonlit Leos are very playful and they love to have fun. They can be one of the most generous people you can meet. If you're special enough in their heart and they have the money to give you, that they'll give you a money. If you need it, they'll give it to you. Again, it's just a general sense. Now, in some cases, this may not be the case, but from a general standpoint, they can be one of the most generous people you can meet. They sort of have a scratch my back and I'll scratch yours sort of attitude. Moonlit Leos are loyal and they expect that sort of devotion and loyalty in return. You break that trust and they will not hesitate to cut you from their life. And I guarantee you they will not look back. Leo moons, they naturally shine in a room. people are just naturally drawn to them because of the energy that they give off. Leo moons love compliments. They also love recognition, as I mentioned before, but they love compliments, especially from a romantic partner or spouse. Now, some Leo moons prefer their compliments to be genuine, but they love a good compliment just the same. Moonlit Leos are gift givers, and they can be considered romantics, and they will not pass up the opportunity to show off their significant other, whether that be at a small gathering or a big party. You know, they're going to want to show off their loved one. So without further ado, we've already broken down these two different signs. So let's put it all together and really get to the nitty gritty of what makes this sign combination what it is. So why is the Sun Virgo, Moon Leo considered such a loving and giving person? You have the Virgo energy, where they're all about servicing others and helping others, and they're considered one of the most helpful zodiacs you can come across. And you mix that with Leo energy, which is all about being generous and is very fun loving, you know. So you mix that together and you get this sort of outcome. So how do you compare to other Virgos? Well, you are more fun-loving than other Virgos, and I say that with all my heart, with all the kindness in my heart. To other Virgos, if other Virgos are watching this doesn't mean that you all can't be fun-loving. But the Sun Virgo, Moon Leo is usually considered one of the more fun-loving Virgos. You're a bit more easygoing, okay? And you may not be as reserved and quiet. As I mentioned earlier, that spectrum that I talked about of being, you know, shy, timid, to being able to being extroverted and outgoing, you may be on that end. You might have no problem at all mingling with other people and talking with other people. So how do you compare to other Leo moons? Well, one thing I'd say is you're definitely more humble. Because of that Virgo energy, you're not seeking attention. You probably do something in the background, but you're not, like, you would like it and you would love the compliment and the recognition, but you're not going to bring it to anyone's attention. Like, hey, I did this today. I expect to get some sort of compliment or recognition. Like, you're not going to bring that to the forefront, if at all. My advice to the Sun Virgo, Moon Leo is to find something you enjoy and to master it. And try to give to someone who is deserving. You're such a giving person. And you do everything you can. You're the type, you want to feel useful to others. You don't want to let others down, you know. You do a lot, and it may be towards someone who doesn't deserve the attention and love that you give them. So just be very careful with that, okay? If you enjoyed the video, hit the notification bell, because in the next video we are going to go into the astro profile of Sun in Taurus, Moon in Aries. Bye guys, and good karma to you all. Bye.